I watch him play. He's the only quarterback, pro or collegiate, that the way he plays reminds me of Patrick.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, Southern California.
Caleb Williams has propelled the Chicago Bears back into legitimate playoff contention. His performance features throws that only one other quarterback in the league consistently completes, drawing repeated comparisons to Patrick Mahomes. League evaluators, scouts, and executives have openly acknowledged the resemblance, citing creativity, arm elasticity, and rare problem-solving ability under pressure as defining traits. Williams displays advanced arm angles, effortless off-platform mechanics, and an instinctive capacity to generate offense when structure collapses. These qualities mirror Mahomes' improvisational brilliance, yet the discussion extends beyond simple comparison.
He is a completely different level player. I've had multiple executives tell me the comp with Mahomes feels really accurate.
They're getting better. And Caleb, I think, is taking small steps every single week. But, you know, I came away from that game going, this looks like a real NFL offense.
Okay.
Right? It's coming together. They're making plays down the field, and Caleb's playing on time and trying to go through his progressions. They're running the football well now. They're using all of their weapons in different ways that I really like what they're doing, and I like the strides that Caleb has made. Not there yet. Isn't a finished product. Shouldn't expect him to be. But every week, there's a little bit more excitement about what it looks like.
While Mahomes represents the modern gold standard, Williams operates with a stylistic freedom and physical toolkit that suggests a uniquely high developmental ceiling. The debate intensifies when projection enters the conversation. Williams is not positioned as a successor or imitation. He does not require replication of Mahomes' path to validate effectiveness. Instead, his profile suggests potential advantages in processing speed, spatial creativity, and adaptability against evolving defensive schemes. Those distinctions create legitimate discussion around long-term upside rather than current achievement. Championship pedigree remains Mahomes' defining separator, supported by multiple Super Bowl titles and sustained postseason dominance. However, projection evaluates trajectory, not resume. Williams' command, confidence, and capacity to tilt games independently place him in rare company at an early stage of his professional career. Around league circles, Williams is already viewed as a transformational talent.
It's soft. That's what he is. He's soft. You can't paint your nails, go cry to your mom, then ask for 20% of the Bears. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. Everyone point and laugh at this man.
Decision makers describe him as a difference maker capable of altering organizational direction. The comparison sparks strong reactions, but the underlying argument centers on potential, not provocation. When isolating tools, creativity, and adaptability, the gap between Williams and the league's elite narrows significantly. Whether that ceiling is ultimately reached remains undecided. What is clear is that Williams belongs in conversations reserved for the NFL's most dynamic quarterbacks, not as a copy, but as an emerging standard in his own right. Caleb Williams has consistently been defined by competitiveness and resilience. Opposing players and evaluators have noted his refusal to fold under pressure, repeatedly rising after setbacks and continuing to pursue game-changing plays. That edge has earned widespread respect across football circles and has followed him through every stage of development.
I don't think this is going to work.
I can't have my quarterback painting his nails, dude. You too busy flossing your nails in the first quarter. You couldn't do nothing the next three. I don't know.
Born on November 18, 2001 in Washington, D.C., Williams grew up in the DMV region, immersed in football culture. His father, Carl Williams, played college football and emphasized discipline, preparation, and relentless effort from an early age. By the time Williams enrolled at Gonzaga College High School, elite potential was already evident. He quickly emerged as a national standout, earning 5-star recruit status and recognition as one of the top dual-threat quarterbacks in the 2021 class. Williams carried internal confidence without public bravado, consistently believing in his standing through work ethic rather than declarations. That mindset translated into recruitment interest from every major college program. Ultimately, the decision landed with Oklahoma Sooners, drawn by Lincoln Riley's quarterback-friendly system known for explosive production. As a true freshman in 2021, Williams delivered immediately. In 11 games with 7 starts, he threw for nearly 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns, flashing poise well beyond his experience level.
If I was number one in my heart, I don't ever really say it, I don't ever really speak about football in those ways, but I always feel in my heart and my mind that I'm number one for how hard I've worked in the past and now in the present.
What was the low point for you last season?
Realizing we had 12 losses. Never lost that much in one season in my life or anything like that.
When Riley departed for USC Trojans, Williams followed, a move that reshaped college football's landscape. The 2022 season elevated his profile nationally. Williams surpassed 4,500 passing yards, threw 42 touchdowns, and dominated weekly matchups with creativity and command. That performance culminated in winning the Heisman Trophy, cementing his status as the premier player in college football and solidifying the foundation for his professional ascent. Caleb Williams sustained elite production through the 2023 season, surpassing 3,300 passing yards and accounting for 30 touchdowns. His consistency cemented unanimous status as the top prospect entering the 2024 draft. For the Chicago Bears, a franchise defined by decades of quarterback instability, the selection represented long-awaited resolution. With the first overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Chicago formally committed to Williams as the organization's future. Attention then turns to Patrick Mahomes, whose developmental path provides useful context.
DJ, is that any way ill-advised from your point of view?
Nah, I can make any throw.
That kid is a flat-out baller, man. He is a difference maker.
He's competitive, bro. I'll give it to him. He didn't back down. He kept getting back up and kept trying to make plays. And he definitely earned my respect.
Born September 17, 1995, in Tyler, Texas, Mahomes was immersed in professional sports from childhood, guided by his father, Pat Mahomes. At Texas Tech Red Raiders, Mahomes produced staggering numbers, exceeding 5,000 passing yards and throwing 41 touchdowns as a junior. Despite first-round talent, evaluators questioned translation due to improvisational tendencies. The Kansas City Chiefs traded up to select Mahomes 10th overall in the 2017 draft, a developmental year followed behind Alex Smith while learning under Andy Reid. That environment mattered. Kansas City was already a stable, winning franchise with playoff consistency and structural continuity. When Mahomes became the starter in 2018, immediate dominance followed. League MVP, 50 touchdowns, over 5,000 yards, and a 12-4 record. The comparison with Williams grows compelling when isolating traits. Both quarterbacks display elite arm talent, rare platform flexibility, mobility, and improvisational instinct. However, Williams entered the league carrying similar creativity without the benefit of an established system. At equivalent stages, Williams exhibits raw creative capacity that rivals and possibly exceeds Mahomes' early profile, highlighting a trajectory shaped by challenge rather than shelter. Patrick Mahomes entered a stable environment, inheriting a system already built for sustained success. When his opportunity arrived, operational continuity was firmly in place.
How do you come to terms with going 2 starts this season?
Yeah, we got, how do I come to terms with it? We got 15 more games. It's the first 2 games, and there's been on multiple occasions teams that rally back and go on a run, and that's what we're focused on.
Caleb Williams faced a starkly different reality. Chicago offered no long-term quarterback stability, a roster still forming identity, and immediate expectations for transformation from the opening snap. Early evaluations questioned Williams' impact, suggesting inconsistency within an offense that otherwise featured capable skill players and functional protection. Despite criticism, team results remained competitive. During the 2024 rookie season, Williams produced 3,541 passing yards and 20 touchdowns, while the Chicago Bears finished 5-12. While outcomes disappointed, underlying flashes of high-level play were evident throughout. The second season altered perception entirely. In 2025, Chicago surged from 5 wins to 11, an uncommon 6-win leap rarely seen with a young quarterback and new coaching staff. The roster lacked Pro Bowl depth, yet cohesion improved rapidly. Williams transitioned from managing games to controlling tempo, distribution, and situational execution. Analysts noted visible progression weekly, offensive structure stabilized, timing improved, progressions developed cleanly, run-pass balance emerged, downfield opportunities expanded. What once appeared fragmented evolved into a legitimate NFL offense. Williams' growth aligned with team success, reinforcing the argument that early struggles reflected circumstance rather than limitation. This trajectory strengthens the broader comparison debate. Unlike Mahomes, Williams developed amid instability, accelerating learning through adversity. That contrast matters when projecting ceilings. Rapid adaptation under pressure often separates talented quarterbacks from transformational ones. Chicago's turnaround reflects more than roster growth. It reflects a quarterback beginning to dictate outcomes rather than absorb them. Caleb Williams remains a developing player rather than a finished product, yet weekly progress continues to generate growing optimism. Performance trends reveal steady advancement rather than volatility. Statistical output during the 2025 season illustrates a clear leap forward, anchored by tangible growth across nearly every major category. Williams surpassed 4,000 passing yards, representing a significant increase from his rookie campaign. Touchdown production climbed into the 30s, while interception rate declined, signaling improved decision-making. Although overall completion percentage dipped slightly, that change reflects a strategic shift toward aggressive downfield attempts rather than inefficiency. Ball placement and intent emphasize vertical stress on defenses. Efficiency metrics further strengthen the case. Yards per attempt increased meaningfully, indicating sustained offensive productivity rather than volume-based accumulation. Passer rating consistently ranked in the upper tier of league starters. Inside the red zone, Williams emerged as one of the NFL's most efficient quarterbacks, converting scoring opportunities at an elite rate where precision and processing matter most. Comparative context adds weight. During the 2019 season, Patrick Mahomes, in his second year as a starter, exceeded 4,000 yards and totaled 26 touchdowns. Strong production followed a league MVP season. However, Mahomes operated within a fully established system guided by Andy Reid, supported by continuity and roster stability. Williams' circumstances contrast sharply. Chicago's offense was undergoing complete installation under a first-year head coach without institutional rhythm or playoff pedigree. Matching or exceeding Mahomes' second-year output under those conditions underscores developmental acceleration. These numbers do not project peak performance. They document adaptation. The trajectory suggests not only improvement, but the capacity to elevate complexity, responsibility, and efficiency simultaneously as the system matures. Caleb Williams producing comparable output under significantly different conditions elevates the legitimacy of the comparison. What separates the discussion further is performance under pressure. Patrick Mahomes built his reputation on fourth-quarter comebacks, defining games with late execution. That same trait has emerged early in Williams' profile. During the 2025 season, Williams engineered multiple game-winning drives against divisional rivals and playoff-caliber opponents. In high-leverage moments, execution remained composed. Against the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago trailed late before Williams led a 75-yard drive, converting critical third downs, extending plays with mobility, and delivering the winning touchdown inside the final minute. Similar execution followed against the Green Bay Packers, where off-platform precision under pressure resulted in a decisive end-zone strike. These moments reflect instinct rather than design. Late-game calm, spatial awareness, and improvisational control cannot be coached into existence. They define franchise quarterbacks. Williams has demonstrated those traits at 23 years old, during only his second professional season. Defensive responses already acknowledge the threat. Containment strategies, quarterback spies, and disciplined rush lanes are deployed weekly. That level of respect typically develops after sustained dominance, not during early adaptation. Williams continues producing despite schematic focus designed to limit creativity. Context amplifies the difficulty. Williams operates within a new system under a first-year head coach, adjusting to evolving expectations. Progress accelerated rather than stalled. By contrast, Mahomes entered a stable environment under Andy Reid, supported early by elite weapons such as Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Championships separate resumes. Mahomes' legacy remains unmatched. The discussion centers on ceiling, trajectory, and degree of difficulty. Mahomes elevated an elite situation into a dynasty. Williams is stabilizing and elevating a historically unstable franchise. That distinction matters. Williams does not need replication. Individual legacy emerges through context, growth, and sustained excellence. Chicago required direction at quarterback, and that void now appears filled. The league is already adjusting. If progression continues, the comparison will persist, not as provocation, but as consequence. The final perspective on this discussion rests not in comparison, but in projection. The emergence of Caleb Williams represents a defining moment for the Chicago Bears, a franchise long shaped by instability at the game's most important position. What has unfolded over the past 2 seasons signals more than statistical improvement. It signals structural change. Quarterback development is rarely linear, especially within rebuilding organizations. Mistakes, growing pains, and uneven stretches are expected. What separates long-term solutions from temporary flashes is the ability to adapt under pressure while elevating the collective unit. Williams has demonstrated that capacity consistently. Each stage of adversity has produced refinement rather than regression. The Bears no longer operate in survival mode. Offensive identity has taken shape. Defensive game plans now account for quarterback-driven stress. Opponents adjust weekly, altering coverage structures and rush disciplines specifically to limit Williams' influence. That level of preparation reflects respect earned, not projected. Legacy conversations inevitably invite comparison to established greatness, particularly when stylistic similarities exist. Patrick Mahomes remains the league's benchmark, defined by championships, sustained excellence, and postseason dominance. Those achievements stand alone. However, trajectory analysis evaluates difficulty, context, and rate of adaptation. Williams' development has occurred without inherited stability, demanding accelerated processing and leadership growth. Chicago's trajectory now aligns with patience rather than desperation. Roster building can proceed with intention. Continuity becomes an asset. Coaching adjustments evolve around a stable centerpiece. These conditions historically precede sustained competitiveness. The broader NFL landscape already reflects adjustment. Divisional rivals prepare differently. National perception has shifted. Media narratives no longer question legitimacy but debate ceiling. That evolution underscores arrival rather than promise. This chapter does not declare supremacy or forecast championships, it establishes foundation. The Bears have clarity at quarterback. Williams has proven capable of carrying responsibility, absorbing pressure, and converting opportunity into momentum. Those traits define franchise pillars. The discussion ultimately moves beyond comparison. The league does not require replication of existing legends. It evolves through new ones shaped by distinct paths. Williams' path is defined by challenge, adaptation, and acceleration. Chicago waited decades for stability under center. That wait appears to be over. The future remains unwritten, but direction is no longer uncertain. In a league defined by quarterback play, that certainty changes everything.